We're independent folks here. Merchants, gamblers, NCR whores. All of them trade with us, and we offer protection against critters and the fiends. You heard me. We don't like those stiff-backed, clean-hand little pussies. New Vegas belongs to the people. The NCR is just a corrupt and bloated monster no better than any other wasteland crawler. We make this land wealthy, and we ain't giving it up. They're a bunch of lunatics so pumped full of chems they don't give a damn about life anymore. Fiends rape, kill, and maim for the hell of it. Vault 3's fiend territory. Those shitheads attack Westside all the time, even making it to the rest of Outer Vegas when they crawl under the sewers.
We've been here for a few years, just looking for a place we can call our own. Life's harsh, but still, it beats the hell out of the desert. We've got numbers, we've got food, and we've got trade. That's progress, stranger. Keep your nose to the ground, stranger, that's what. Mind your own business and let us mind our own. Are we clear? If you got a mind to loot the old H&H Tools factory, don't even bother. That place is sealed tighter than a rad scorpion's bunghole. Every salvager who tries gets blown up, flattened, or gutted by traps. Then he starts to stink up the town, and we're the ones to clean up the mess.
Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be checking out the North Vegas Square, which was recommended to me by Wesley Gassett. Thank you so much for all of the recommendations. So I'll be pretty honest, this is a location that I am not so familiar with, even though it's located in the downtown area of New Vegas, right next to Freeside. This area is very easily missed, mainly because it's extremely poor, and there's not a whole lot to do here besides a handful of quests, which we will take a look at in this video. Now, many locations in New Vegas are based on real-world locations. However, I could not find any such information on the North Vegas Square, so I just imagine it's based on some neighborhood from northern Las Vegas. So, let's jump into it. And as you can see here on the mini-map, here's the location of North Vegas Square. It's next to the H&H Tools factory and right next to Freeside, the Freeside North Gate. You can actually see Freeside right there. And then over here, you can see the entrance to North Vegas. Now, North Vegas is a settlement, but it's more of a refugee camp full of people who are down on their luck. Now, there is no official government within North Vegas. However, Crandon acts as the leader of the settlement, and Jules works with him kind of as a sheriff, and together they help maintain order in North Vegas. Now, in North Vegas, you'll notice a lot of bombed out, destroyed buildings. Interestingly, these bed sheets are actually owned by somebody, so some residents. And there's also a playground here, and we have some interesting things in the playground, but because we can see that people have used, like, junk to make, like, miniature shelters, probably for temporary sleeping purposes. As we can see here, this swing set appears to kind of be a makeshift shelter. So, pretty interesting, and it showcases the poverty within North Vegas. Maybe somebody's living in this UFO, I don't know. We also have a flipped over baby carriage, which is kind of interesting. And then over here we can find Jules, who has an unmarked quest, meeting an equal associated with him, but we need 50 gun skill and 60 survival in order to finish the quest.
Because that's the law of the land. You never know when someone's going to stab you in the back, and I like mine upright. Maybe one day, stranger, when you've seen all I've seen, done all I've done, you'll sooner trust a rad scorpion than a new face in the wasteland. You got a sharp eye on you. I take it you like guns, huh? Question is, can you handle more than just a weapon? I mean, you've got to know yourself before you can truly know the gun. So let's see it, stranger. Do you know yourself? We see eye to eye, we speak warrior to warrior. And I thought myself too old to find an equal. Listen, warrior, there are two kinds of folks. You load your gun like an ordinary man, or you load it like a devil. We ain't ordinary, are we? See, I pack good brass up with slow-burning powder, then cap it with a heavy semi-wad cutter bullet. That's how you make 44 ammo that'll put the fear of the heavens on any waster that dare cross your path. That's a long one, stranger. Let's just say I got tired of killing in the wasteland, and now I found a better home for my old butt.
So after finishing those speech checks, you'll finish the Unmarked quest, and he will give you a 44 Magnum SWC schematic to make reloading faster. Then on the other entrance of North Vegas, it's actually unmarked, but it's right next to H&H Tools. Now there is one building we can enter, which is called the Gray. This is a deteriorating apartment building with several residents inside of it. There's also some thugs who are associated with the quest, someone to watch over me. And we'll talk about this quest a little bit later, since it's the main reason to visit North Vegas. Now, there's a locked door, and this is actually a part of the quest. You're supposed to do this later during the quest, but I decided to go ahead and do it now and see what happens. So this room belongs to Andy Scab. And Andy is a gang leader who lives in North Vegas, and basically he's planning a big heist. And we can find this note, Henchman message to Andy Scab, which reads, "Looks like you were right. The Hostettler man always carries a full pouch back to their house every night. The same pouch is empty whenever he goes work to Crimson Caravan. Fred's seen it himself. No chance in hell this is all a coincidence. He's bringing something with him whenever he leaves work. That's gotta be his daily cut from the business. Alice is gonna have to find all that dough for us. If we get caught near their place, her bitch mother is gonna snap for the big guns. That'll make Crandon, or worse, Jules, come after us. I ain't too happy about risking my neck for nothing, Andy. Let's make sure Alice is a good doggy first. Then do whatever you want with her once we are out of this fucking hole. M." So we've actually visited the Hostettler home before. It's right next to Isaac's house in the Unexplored Mojave. And the Hostettler house features the mother, who is very angry towards the player character, or at least until we start this quest. House, we can find Mrs. Hostettler, who has some very aggressive dialogue.
Get out before I blow your head off. Snoop somewhere else and get the fuck out of my house. Are you deaf? I don't give a damn about what you want.
Now, in order to officially start the quest, someone to watch over me, you have to talk to Crandon and tell him that you want to help out, and you have to convince him that you're able to help out around town, either with 45 speech or 35 barter. He will then tell you that there's some squatters on the playground that he wants you to get rid of. Now, of course, there's a few ways you can do this. However, killing the squatters will result in reputation loss. So that probably isn't the best course of action. The other courses of action involve speech or barter. And because of North Vegas's kind of hidden location, kind of tucked away in the corner of New Vegas, this quest is actually somewhat easy to miss. So going over to the squatters, we can find Squatter Bill, and you can simply just convince him to leave, as I will do. If you don't have a high enough speech or barter, you could kill the squatters, but again, that'll result in reputation loss. So that's not such a good thing unless you don't care, you're doing an evil or like Caesar's Legion playthrough. So after dealing with the squatters, you want to go back to Crandon, and this time he'll tell you that he wants you to deal with some criminals down in the North Vegas sewers. So there's actually a third entrance to the North Vegas Square. There are the sewer system, which I've covered before in a previous Unexplored Mojave episode. Basically, we have to go down there and also convince them to leave or kill them. Now, choosing to kill them here is a more viable option simply because there's no reputation loss for killing criminals. However, people in the sewers could become hostile to you, so it's still advised to try and use diplomacy. Here we can find Greasy Johnny, and with a speech check of 65, we can convince him and his gang of criminals to leave the sewers. After completing this task, we'll get the main task of the quest, dealing with the Hostettler family and Andy Scab. So for this quest, basically, Alice Hostetler is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Hostetler. She's a naive young woman who ran away from home because she wants to make her own living. She's tired of living on the Hostetler farm or the Hostetler house, and she wants something more for herself, but she gets caught up in a criminal gang. So after talking to Crandon, we have to go to Mrs. Hostetler, who will calm down once you let her know that you are aware of her problem. And then after that, she will give you some information about Andy's Scab, and you have to go back to North Vegas, and you have to talk to Jules, who will tell you that Andy lives inside the Gray. Now, upon entering, the quest got a little bit glitchy because I've already completed the task of breaking into his room and stealing the note. So I had several tasks complete, and then Andy came running in to talk to me. This conversation with Andy can go several ways. One, of course, is showing Alice Andy's plan. 2 is to attack and kill Andy, and 3 is actually to join Andy. So we have to head over back to the Hostetler farm once we made our decision and confront Alice.
Back off. I know how to use this gun, and I'm not afraid to shoot if you try anything. I've put up with their shit long enough. No more. I'll kill them if they get in my way. Then what the hell do you want? Don't try anything, I mean it. Okay, but this better not be a trick. What are you talking about? Andy wants to help me leave this hole, doesn't he? That son of a bitch! I'll take the money and I'll kill him too. I don't know what I want, but I hate this place and I hate these people. It all used to be so simple. Why did they change? Why can't they see my pain? Do they? Look at my mother. All she cares for is a patch of bare dirt where nothing green will ever grow to feed us. My father, a trading business that he'll never own, risking his neck every day against wastelanders and cutthroat merchants. And I'm supposed to be part of those dreams? What about my dreams, stranger? What about me? It's all me, isn't it? The pain, the anger, my joy. All of that's just me. I should have met you before, stranger. Thank you.
Now you have to be careful during that dialogue because what you say can have an impact on the quest. Obviously, I went for the more positive ending. Alice runs away from home in search of a better life, but she decides not to do a terrible thing to her family. Now, you can also turn her hostile to you, or she might commit suicide if the right dialogue options are chosen, resulting in negative karma. After finishing that part of the quest, we can talk to Mrs. Hostetler, who will initially be angry at you, but will eventually come to understand that her daughter just wants something else in her life. And she will even give you caps as a reward, but you can refuse the caps for a very large positive karma gain. But this was a very interesting quest that I knew next to nothing about before going to this location, so I'm very glad I visited here, and I'm very glad that I did this quest, seeing a new story unfold within the Mojave Wasteland. Alright everyone, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Unexplored Mojave. If you have any recommendations for the next location, please post them in the comments section below. And, as always, until next time.